Hi, and welcome to JG's Wonderkids Spotlight. Today we're going to start out a video that hopefully will become a series where I take a look at some of the players that are in the new Wonderkids database that I have created. You can find the link to this in the description. It's uploaded on FM Scout. The player we're going to be taking a look at today is Luca Romero. You might have heard of him because he made his debut for Mallorca in the La Liga a few weeks ago, I believe. So he's definitely a player that you're going to be seeing more of later on. This is how he looks when you start your game. His stats might vary a little bit because they change depending on the save game you load. But yeah, he's playing for Mallorca. I'm currently listed as an unemployed manager to view this database, so I can't see, but usually he's available on an approach to sign deal as he's only signed a youth contract. But they might be offering him a pro deal very soon. I certainly would if I was playing as Mallorca. So yeah, I have placed him on a different team with a future transfer to ensure that he stays at the same team. And you're going to see what that team is in just a moment. There we go. As you can see, I've put him on Barcelona, because it probably suits his playing style somewhat. Because he's kind of Messi-esque, isn't he, in the end? Yeah, I put him in Barcelona. It's not the most exciting team, but they have excellent training facilities and coaching, so I know he's going to develop to the most of his abilities. As you can see, I've set his potential ability to the maximum he's capable of, which is 180, and in general he can range from 150 to 180. For this save, he's set to 180, just so we can see like what is the pinnacle of his development. So yeah, he's going to start at Barcelona. We are playing this tactic. This is just one I've downloaded from FM Scout as well. It's called Olof's 4-2-3-1 Trequartista. I will also make sure there's a link to this in the description. As you can see, it's a fairly standard 4-2-3-1 with a Trequartista in the center attacking mid-role, which is where Luca Romero will be playing every game possible. So yeah, the base format is we're going to skip forward every 2 years until he's 24, so 10 years in the future, see what he does, and then at the very end we're going to skip forward until he retires, just to see what has he accomplished throughout his career. So first up, 2 years from now. And there we go. As we can see, he's already developed a lot. I believe his current ability in the beginning was 89. 2 years later, it's now 131. This is probably standard rotational player for a top club. And as you can see, a lot of the, the attributes relevant to playing as a Trequartista, they're already developing really well. I wish his anticipation would get a little higher, but he's still only 16. He's 16 and a half. So a lot of development is still to come. If we take a look at how he's been performing, I mean, that's decent. Let's see here. So yeah, this season he scored 8 goals, 3 assists, and 3 player of the match with an average rating of 7.18, and that's in 37 appearances. And the season before was a little worse, actually it was quite a lot worse, but he was also a year younger, and again, this is still a 16-year-old player we're talking about. What about Barcelona in general? How have they been doing? Hang on. That's not what I wanted. Is that what I wanted? Fuck. There we go. La Liga Santander. That was probably the one I was looking for. There. So Barcelona did actually win the league in their first season, which is great. And then they finished runner-up to Real Madrid a year later. Did they do anything else of note this year? Let's see. Knocked out in quarterfinal by Juventus, won the Copa del Rey, and won the Super Cup. So all in all, it seems like it's a great year for Luca Romero. As you can see here, he's not featuring in any of the main things here. Just for the record, all training and transfers, everything except the formation and the fact that Luca Romero is playing is set to be handled by my staff. So I'm not doing anything really except pressing the sim on button. Well, go on holiday, I suppose it's called. So yeah, so far it looks really good. Let's just head back to him and take one more look at him. I think he's already got some really good stats. But let's skip forward 2 more years. And we are back in 2023. Luca Romero is now 18 years old, and he's got a current ability of 160, which is absolutely bonkers. Like, that is insane. Like, who's the best 18-year-old today? Mason Greenwood? Probably? Mason Greenwood has a current ability of about 135. Gabriel Martinelli's another shout. He has around 125, I believe. Don't quote me on those numbers. I'm speaking from memory. So for him to have 160 current ability at the age of 18 is nuts. That is completely insane. And we can see a lot of his stats are exactly where we want them to be. He got 18 dribbling, 18 first touch, 17 passing, 18 technique, 18 vision, 17 off the ball. He's also got 17 acceleration and 18 balance. So a large amount of the stats that you want in a player playing as a trequartista, or in general an attacking midfield role, he's got that. He has absolutely got that. And he hasn't actually made a senior cap for Spain yet, which does surprise me. And I actually skipped ahead, obviously, so I know what happens. And he actually gets a surprisingly low amount of caps for Spain. So I assume that the Spanish national team doesn't actually play with a central attacking mid. But perhaps we should check that out as we move on a bit later in the save. How's he been doing for Barcelona? Ooh, last season was good. 12 goals in 37 games with 6 assists and 3 player of the match with a 7.19 average rating. This year, less good. Let's just put it that way. But did they win anything last year is the question then. Let's see. What do we want to do? God. Sometimes Football Manager is just not intuitive to navigate. Did they win last year? They did not. They finished second. That is actually not fantastic. Did they win anything else last year? What was it? Last year was 2022. No, they did not. They won nothing last year, despite Luca Romero having a really good season. So yeah, that's actually interesting. He hasn't led them to any major honors yet, because he's not a key player. I'm just taking a look at the scouting report. Again, these may vary from save to save, but here he's a fairly consistent performer, and he's got a fairly professional personality, which is great for his development. So already operating at La Liga level, and it could improve a lot in the future. But we knew that from looking at his current ability and potential ability. Let's see, anything else? Shall we just take a look at his progress? See, as you can see, it's just a straight line up, basically. Attributes. All time. These are the ones that are just so satisfying to look at. As you can see, we're 4 years in now. He has got a lot of 6. Okay, he's got 3 6s already. So there is still a lot of room to develop. But already now it looks juicy, doesn't it? But yeah, so this is something we're going to return to. Not necessarily every skip forward, but at some point. At least after the last sim forward. So after 10 years. And then there's of course the retirement sim. But yeah. So he looks really, really good. Like, tell me, what do you think? This guy, we agree, you'd want him on your team, assuming you play with a central attacking mid. He can also play on either the left or the right, but given his skill set, I personally would absolutely prefer having him in the middle. But I do know that a lot of people think that it's not easy to get a central attacking mid to work in FM20. But I don't know about you guys, but I'd definitely take him in my team, like, any day of the week. But let's get forward. Let's see how he's going to be doing at age 20. See, now we're talking. He's now 20 years old. He's gotten his first caps for Spain. Making, I can already tell by the numbers, scoring a lot more goals for Barcelona. And he's got 172 current ability. That's really good. Who currently has a 172 current ability? That's someone like... That's a little below the level of, let's say, Sadio Mane or Mohamed Salah. That's the level we're talking here. And 180 is right around their level. So this is a world-class player once he's done developing. If we just highlight the trequartista role, you can see he's finally got above that 16 limit for finishing. Oh, he's actually got... For the trequartista role, the only things that are not at 16 or above are decisions and anticipation. Now, admittedly, those are two rather important attributes, like for a player in general, not necessarily only for the trequartista role. But considering what else he has in his arsenal, just take a look at this. Like, that's all I have to just take a look. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that he's doing well. He's actually injured right now. Let's see, what has he been doing? Ooh, I just noticed his average rating for this season. That's 0.21 higher than his previous best. So his last season, it was alright, but it wasn't fantastic. This season, though, the numbers aren't that much higher. In fact, his 21-22 season was actually higher numbers, but his average rating is a lot better. So he probably contributes a lot more to the game than he did before, but the output doesn't necessarily show in his numbers. Let's see. I kind of want to just take a look here, see if there's anything that jumps out here. Now, I'm not a huge technical analyst, so I am not entirely sure what I'm doing on the screen, to be honest. I should just not have gone here. But if you want to take a look, this is from this season. Yeah. But yeah, let's see. Did Barcelona win anything? Competitions. They finished runner-up in the Champions League both last year and this year, but they didn't win it. That must suck. They finished third place in La Liga last year, and they won it this year. And that seems to be the major things here. Yeah, that seems to be the major element. Oh, they won the Super Cup again. Oh, finished runner-up in the Super Cup again. So there's that. So yeah, so we just take a quick look at at Barcelona's team just for the hell of it. Still got Griezmann. They signed Donnarumma. Coutinho's actually no, he's not been playing. Never mind. He's been playing, but he is not. They've signed Chiesa. They've signed Sané. Kept playing Leon Umtiti. Ansu Fati's made his breakthrough. Ansu Fati has definitely made his breakthrough. God damn. 48 goals in 53 appearances. Wow. Okay, that's good job, Ansu Fati. Yeah. And then we have our friend Luca Romero down here. How much has he been playing? He is the 5th most minutes appeared. But despite starting every game, I guess also he broke his leg. Humerus is a leg bone, right? No, humerus is an arm bone. I don't know. He broke a bone, so that probably kept him out. But you can see here, he still played 36 appearances in the league, so that's still decent. Anyways, skipping ahead, 2 more years. And here we are. He is so close to being at his maximum current ability. He's 179 and his max is 180. So he's almost there. However, of course, it's worth noting that as he ages, the stats will still be redistributed, I think is the best way to put it. Generally towards the technicals and the mentals, as his physicals will decline a little bit. Overall, he's probably going to be a better player, despite his current ability remaining the same. He is probably going to be a better player as he hits the 26, 28 years old. But as you can see here, he is still an absolutely phenomenal player. His anticipation has risen a little bit again. Passing drops, so again, there's been some redistributing of stats already. He's made a lot more caps for Spain. You know what, let's just take a look. Does Spain play with a central attacking mid? They do actually, but it's Oyarzabal? Oyarzabal, that's what it is now. Is starting ahead of Luca Romero. You see, I don't agree with that. I'm just going to leave this here, and then I'll let you decide for yourselves. Should Oyarzabal be starting ahead of Luca Romero? I'm gonna be real honest with you. I definitely would not do that. But, who's Spain manager? Voro. Who is Voro? He is in real life currently jobless after a spell with Valencia. No clue who you are, mate. Sorry to say, but you need to take a good look at your selection policies. But heading back to Luca Romero, actually, you know what? Again, in 2 years, he'll have reached his peak. Let's take a look at his final progress then. So you know what? Let's just skip forward 2 years now. And as predicted, he has indeed reached his peak. 180 current ability at 24 years old. That is quite an early peak, but it's not unheard of, at least not in game. In real life, probably not, but anyways, let's take a look-see here. Trequartiste de role. Let's see. Generally, for a player to really be... It's real weird to say. Oh, I just noticed something. He has 2 20s. He has 20 in off the ball and in vision. That is insane. That's 2 20s. I don't actually think I see that very often. At least not when it's, I'm doing air quotes now, only 180. Like, this is 200 current ability potential. Like, those are the ones who have multiple 20s. But let's see, 18 dribbling, Again, I'm focusing on the Trickettista role, but just highlighting some of the other roles. As you can see, he can play pretty much anywhere in the attacking midfield. Like, even if let's just put him as inside forward, he got the stats. Winger, could have higher crossing, but and maybe some more pace, but he can play there and do a job. Like, he'd still be a world-class winger. Nobody kid themselves there. But he is definitely best in central attacking mid, and of course that also depends on how you train him and develop him throughout his years. But yeah, 18 dribbling, 16 finishing, 18 first touch, 17 passing, 19 technique, 15 anticipation, 17 composure, 15 decisions. I do wish his decisions and anticipation were a little higher. I am a sucker for those two attributes in particular, to be honest. 16 flair, and then 20 off the ball and 20 vision, and then some decent physicals as well. Now, obviously, this is not a physical player. He is a technical player. That nobody's kidding themselves if I say that. So, yeah, value 106 million. So, there's that. Has he won Ballon d'Or? Ballon d'Or. Did I spell that right? I did. He has not. Has he finished top anything? He is not. Okay, so he's not actually in Ballon d'Or running. That's interesting. Has Oyarzabal been phased out of the national team yet? See. They're not actually playing with a central attacking mid. And on the wings they have Ansu Fati. I can't blame him for that one. He's a fucking monster. And Borja Ortega, who is a regen playing for PSG, who looks quite decent, let's be honest. So Romero actually started on the bench. Which, while frustrating, and personally, I'd probably, if I had a player like him, I'd definitely make my tactic play with a central attacking mid. At the same time, I can't fault anyone for starting Ansu Fati ahead of him on the left. And I mean, he's a very good player, Borja Ortega. Would I play him ahead of Luca Romero? That would very much depend on tactic. If I were playing with straight up wingers and not inside forwards, I would probably start Borja here, to be completely honest. Like, that 18 crossing is very important for a winger. But we don't know exactly what kind of tactics Spain plays. So I'm starting to kind of understand why he might not have gotten so many caps for Spain. But let's see here. Progress. Nope, wrong button. Damn it. There we go. There we go. This is probably more or less the final development chart you will see. Because he's 24 now, he's reached peak current ability. Again, there will probably be some redistribution of stats throughout the next 5 to 10 years of his career, but we're not going to stop and address those. But as you can see, let's see, what's the biggest increase we can spot? 9 strength, that's not saying much because he started at 1, so now he's got 10. 8 stamina, that's decent, maybe not important for a Trickettista. 9 composure, that's probably good. So he's on 17 composure now, and plus 8 anticipation. Okay. I'm just going to leave this here just for 2 seconds so you can take a pause and take a look if you want. There was about 2 seconds. Alright, so shall we just take a look at if Barcelona has done anything good? What have they been doing? La Liga Santander past winners. Yeah, because I think I also forgot to address it recently, the last 2 skips. So yeah, they've won it 3 times in the last 5 years and finished runner-up on the 2 occasions they didn't. And the same applies to Real Madrid. They've won twice and were finished runner-up on the 3 occasions they didn't. Back to Spain as we know it. Woohoo! Alright. So yeah, and has he... Actually, no. Let's just look at the Ballon d'Or when we're done. Because I actually remember I checked this while I was preparing the recording, and he hasn't won the Ballon d'Or. Right, so... yeah, I'm just going to skip ahead to just before he retires so we can take a look back at the career that he's had. And there we go. As you can see, Luca Romero is back at Mallorca. And yes, I set it up that way, so he went back to Mallorca in 2039. And I set his contract to expire just a year later, but it turns out he has decided to retire. So, despite still having a current ability of 141, which is still, like, that's still lower end Premier League level. Like, if you're fighting a relegation battle, you're probably aiming for 130 current ability. At least. So, that is still lower end Premier League level. He could still do a job. But he's decided to call it quits at the end of this season, playing for his boyhood club, Mallorca. So yeah, as you can see, these are his attributes. His physicals have dropped off a cliff, as they do in Football Manager when you hit a certain age. That's just fact of life. His mentals, still great. His composure's gone up to 20. That's insane. But yeah, obviously this is no longer his peak. Leave a comment if you want me to take a look at when they're around 28, 29, which is generally the peak of a football player. Then we will do that, not a problem. But yeah, so this is Luca Romero just before he retires. He's made 67 caps for Spain, scoring 17 goals. And again, I think he would have more, but it turns out they haven't been playing with a central attacking mid role, and even though he can play on the wing, Spain just had options that were better, which is impressive because it's hard to get better than this dude, but they just have. And what was the last thing I was going to check? Alright, let's just check on his playing history. Yeah. So, this is a lot. Let me just see here. What is his highest rated season? Wow. His best season, based on average rating, was as a 33-year-old. He's 35 now, right? Yes, so 2 years ago, he was 33. That is his best season for Barcelona, with a 7.59 average rating. I'm actually really surprised by that. I thought that his best season would have been, again, in his mid to late 20s, also based on the role that he's playing in. But then again, a Trequartista isn't a very physically intensive role, so maybe it makes sense. I don't know. Someone more tactically inclined than me, feel free to expand on that. But that's really good. Also, I took a look. Hang on, that's not what I wanted. La Liga. I'm just going to leave that there. Just take a look at the past winners. I think it's safe to say that Luca Romero has had a positive influence on Barcelona. How many in a row is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 10 in a row. That's okay. To be fair, one of them was with that. That was after he left for Mallorca. What about? Did they win anything of note? Champions League. They've won 3 Champions Leagues during Luca Romero's career, including one in his final season at Barcelona. That's strangely wholesome, and also 3 runners-up. Yeah, a lot of La Ligas, 2 Club World Cups, 2 Super Cups, and a runner-up. No Europa League, because we've been in the Champions League, that makes sense. So, yeah, he's generally been doing really, really well. Let's see, let's just go back. Where did I lost him? Damn. Oh, too far. There we go. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. As said, if you want to download the database where this guy is in, I will make sure to add the link in the description. And then you can develop him yourself. As said, his potential ability varies between 150 and 180. So, but even at 150, that's still a solid Premier League player. Like, that's still, might not be starting for the top sides, but definitely a good option for the top sides. Definitely starting for the sub-top sides. And 180, like, that's a world-class player. Oh, I forgot one thing. That I promised y'all. Did he win the Ballon d'Or? Bunch of regens. Don't care about you guys. I will say, though, it doesn't actually look like he was even in the top. Ansu Fati. I switched to PSG. He's a traitor. We don't like him anymore. I'm just seeing, is he even in the top 3 any times? I don't actually think he is. Wow, that's almost tragic. Let me know in the comments. Did he deserve a Ballon d'Or? Did he at least deserve to be in the top 3 of the Ballon d'Or? Because I think he might have. I do think he might have. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you appreciate this style of videos. I'll probably be doing more for the Wonderkids database. If you use it and have a specific player you want to see like the max potential of, do let me know. And well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.